Hi guys, welcome back. This is the third video of the series for this week, and I'm basically still talking about stress, right? And so in the first video I spoke about just what stress is and its comparison to posture. In the second video I spoke about stress, posture, and chiropractic. And in this one I just kind of wanted to bring to you a very interesting concept that I stumbled upon a couple of months ago when I was kind of researching stress management, recognizing that something like occupational stress leads to 50 to 60% of lost days at work. And so in my mind I was kind of going, hey, as a chiropractor that is very passionate about productivity and especially for corporates, you're paying, you're kind of paying money to have your employees work well for you, but if they're dealing with back pain, neck pain, because of bad posture, if they're dealing with headaches, they're not giving you productive time. But at the same time is looking at occupational stress, right? Is if they feel like they are very stressed at work, they are going to take more days off, or they're just not going to be very present. And so as I was kind of studying these concepts and going, okay, so what can we do to help improve productivity? I came across something called appraisal arousal. And what that is the idea that we can affect our emotions based off how we interpret our body's reactions to something like stress. So, in the first video, I kind of spoke about the fact that the sympathetic nervous system kind of is activated, and what happens is we have this, flexion, getting ready for the battle, the fight or flight. And so that activation, right, is basically going to help us deal with whatever stress, we need to deal with better. Like the problem that I did mention before is that, it's a short-term response, and now with civilization, we're kind of dealing with a little bit of a longer session, when it comes to kind of engaging with stressful events or circumstances. So, we kind of spoke about the fact that you can, improve your posture to help you deal with stress better. You can eat better, you can exercise. But appraisal arousal is going to help you from a psychological perspective of saying, hey, actually, when my body activates that fight or flight response, that's actually to help me deal with the stress better. That's going to make me stronger. That's going to make me more efficient. And so as that happens, they're finding that you have a better cardiovascular response. So typically with stress, you have the blood vessels constrict, and then you've also got your heart racing. But they find that people that have a healthy arousal, so a healthy way of seeing how their body responds to stress, their blood vessels don't actually constrict as much, right? And we know a concept of stress and heart attacks and heart disease. Now, I want to just make it very clear, right? If you have any sort of left chest pain and left arm pain, it is really, really important for you to go and see a doctor immediately, because that could be a heart attack. But right now, what I'm talking about is kind of if you are in a relatively healthy state and you find yourself kind of having that, reaction, the arousal to some sort of stress that's coming at you, how you perceive that stress. So how you perceive your body reacting to finances is kind of going, hey, maybe this is my body just going to help me figure out a solution around this financial problem. So it's interesting then that now we can look at our stress management being from a physical perspective of our posture and correction of posture, but then and chiropractic adjustments. We can look at it from a perspective of what we eat and what we digest. We can look at it in terms of our activity, and then we can also look at it in terms of how we perceive our body's reaction to stress, right? And that actually been good. I won't go into full detail on this. There is a lady called McGonagall. She's got an awesome TED talk up on making stress your friend. And I just love that idea that, listen, we may not be able to get rid of the stress, but we can deal with stress better. And as a chiropractor and as a, someone that's also kind of walking the current society circumstances and COVID and everything is, how do I make myself deal with stress better? How do I make my body more efficient? And so, yeah, go check it out. I think it's a really interesting concept. And I will see you soon.